So it is officially quarter 3, and that means that today could be a day number 1 for the US recession. For those who don't know, recessions are defined by a fall in GDP in 2 consecutive quarters, and the US GDP for quarter 1 decreased by 1.6%. And while we don't yet have the official data on quarter 2 until July 28th, the Atlanta federal government GDP tracker is running currently at a negative 1%, suggesting that the US economy has officially entered that recession. If you are appreciating these daily market updates, don't forget to drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel. 4th of July is coming up. Hopefully you guys have a good weekend after this, and let's get started. So in today's market open, both the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones is up about 0.5%, while the Nasdaq is trading about 0.6% higher. Currently, the global crypto market cap is up just slightly, 1.28%. Nothing to, rave at home about, but Bitcoin is up about 1.2% as well, sitting at $19,362, but still under the $20,000 support level. Now, on a day like this, we are seeing mixed red and green, but we're getting overall green within the market for a majority of the top 100 altcoins. Taking a look at the 4-hour chart, we can also notice that Bitcoin has had some strong resistance at the $20,000 level, which is going to be that top orange line. For an entire 24 hours or 6 candlesticks, Bitcoin has fluctuated above and below that $20,000 level, which is acting as support, but it finally broke below, plummeting to $18,600 last night. While support levels get broken, they often flip into becoming new resistance levels. Currently, Bitcoin is now trading in the $18,500 range to the $20,000 range, and if Bitcoin breaks down below $18,500, we could see a retest of this bear market low, sitting at $17,500, like we've stated throughout this week. So Bitcoin is looking like it'll probably close out on another weekly red candle, unless it can find itself going above the $21,000 level before Monday. Bitcoin, if that does happen, has closed the red candle 12 out of the past 14 weeks. So with all that being said, Bitcoin's price and activity plunged Bitcoin, making it the worst quarterly loss in 11 years, with price and activity on the blockchain both tanking over the past 3 months. The second quarter ending yesterday saw Bitcoin's price fall from around $45,000 at the start of the quarter to trade at $19,884 before midnight. This year is going to represent a total of a 56% loss, and it is still the steepest price fall since the third quarter of 2011. At that time, Bitcoin did fall from $15.40 to $5.03, which was still a loss of over 67% about a decade ago. Now, on top of that, and thanks to sky-high inflation and rising interest rates, the traditional stock market has also been getting trashed, with some calling it for the worst quarter ever. The S&P 500 index is officially now down about 20% in the first half of this year, which is the worst start to the year since, believe it or not, 1962, when price return was still back at minus 26.5%. I want to highlight here the importance of the statistics. This means we haven't had the worst half of the year in over 60 years. Now, taking a look at your screen, we can see a visual of some of the worst trading dates since pretty much the stock market had first opened. Now, aside from 1962, we have 1940 and 1932 also having some pretty strong, terrible days within the market. So with all these significant drops within the S&P 500 and different assets, what are investors doing? What are we doing? What is retail doing? What is Warren Buffett, the whales, the Illuminati? Are people all doing the same thing? Are people all just kind of waiting to see the market going down even more? Or have people started buying up the dip? Well, let's take as an example here what Warren Buffett has been doing since the entire market has been going into a downturn. In this article by Forbes, they state here, billionaire investor Warren Buffett has used the ongoing market sell-off as an opportunity to buy the dip and add several new major positions as his investing conglomerate. That is going to be through Berkshire Hathaway, which deployed tens of billions of dollars into stocks during the first quarter, according to new regulatory filings. So it looks like it was disclosed that they bought several new stakes late on Monday, and this article is about a month ago, including 55 million shares of Citigroup and 69 million shares of media giant Paramount Global, worth about $1.9 billion. Now, Berkshire Hathaway has also bought some other energy companies like Chevron and Occidental, I might have butchered that. If I did, please forgive me. Ever since Warren Buffett decided he was going to buy up some additional shares within the stock market, we haven't seen a huge rebound like many people would expect. Oftentimes, investors think anyone who's written a book or who's more successful in their field or has been around in the game for many, many years that they know a thing or two about being able to time up the bottom. But even with this, we can see that individuals like Warren Buffett, they're able to buy it up, but they're not stressing out. They continue to buy up the dips, and they may not be able to time up the market bottom completely, and they may not get it right every single time, but they are playing this with a long-term run. And I do believe when we see individuals like this making huge bets into the market, it's something to take note of. On top of that, we also got word that both El Salvador and MicroStrategy purchased more Bitcoin as the price dropped closer to $19,000 earlier today. So El Salvador, they didn't buy a lot, but I would say 80 Bitcoin is still worth a decent change of money. So just doing a little bit of quick math, it seems like El Salvador has bought about $1.5 million worth of Bitcoin. MicroStrategy going even more ham in this market. They went ahead and bought 480 Bitcoin. Now, while market volume shows that everything is low and we're still seeing further liquidations happening and acquisitions that we'll talk about in this video, including BlockFi and FTX making some bailouts, some of the stuff that we've discussed over this past week, we'll notice that while companies are looking for different opportunities, they're finding it in different ways too. While some of the old school traditional investors stick with their cup of tea and what they know, whether it's stocks or some of the other companies are continuing to buy up Bitcoin, which is completely fine. We also have other companies looking to buy up and seize the opportunity of other companies still related within these markets. This shows that people are buying up the dip, the whales are making moves, and it looks like even amidst this bear market, they are still choosing to buy and to move forward regardless of how things look in the short term now. Now, according to crypto analytics agency Glassnode, we can also see that Bitcoin whales are now holding more than 1,000 Bitcoin, and they're still hodling and buying up the market dips during the crypto market capitulation. We can also see from additional data that whales have been purchasing on average 140,000 Bitcoin every month directly from exchanges and now control about 45% of the total Bitcoin supply. So Bitcoin accumulation by whales began back in April and increased until late June when the Bitcoin price reached about $20,000, still where we are sitting at now. If the whales know a thing or two, if they have an idea of what the economy is going to do and they're buying loads and loads of this asset right now, could they be onto something? Could we trust them? Have they made right decisions before in the past? Whales are able to manipulate the market. They know when to go in. And if we're able to look at data and notice that they are ramping up their buys during this time, you need to then ask yourself the question, should I be following the whales? Now, on top of the whales going ahead and buying up the dip though, we are getting some data that minority holders with wallets of less than 1 Bitcoin, also known as a shrimp gang, they are now intensively accumulating at a pace that hasn't been seen since March 2020. Data is now showing that shrimps purchased an average of 36,750 Bitcoin per month and currently control about 1.12 million Bitcoin, which equates to about 5.87% of the total supply. So Brian, you just hit us with a lot of different stats, numbers, what Warren Buffett's eating for breakfast. Let me tell you all what this means. Right now we're seeing whales, shrimps, companies, countries all playing the long-term investing game for Bitcoin, which is more than amazing to see. During times like this where market FUD can go into the veins, it can start freaking you out like a little disease. You start seeing other people making initiatives and moves within the market and realize maybe we are close to the bottom. Maybe this is a time where you should be dollar cost averaging in and knowing that if you go long and you could take advantage of some of the best opportunities that a recession can provide you and focus on what is in your control. We've been hit with all these different liquidations, ever since Terra Luna started to come down, it's just been one after another. There was an OpenSea bug that happened yesterday, and then on top of that, it's just a lot of people feeling the FUD within their blood. Now, no matter what happens with the market, if you guys happen to be watching this, just know that you are still one of the many few that decide to educate themselves and know that crypto is around, and I'm telling you, this is going to be one of the investments that if you are able to stick through it, it will pay off at the end. If you're a short-term thinker, it's going to be hard to win in this market. If you're a long-term thinker, you will win, and I believe it's just as simple as that. You think long-term, you continue to buy the dips. You don't care if your portfolio was up 100% before, if it's down 50% or more now, you don't care. You play this for the long-term run because you know that crypto's here to stay. You know the innovation is being made and you know that this is still the future. So guys, if you did enjoy this video, like the usual, don't forget to drop a like down below. Check out the link down below in the description for iTrustCapital. If you guys do plan on buying up the dip and you want to do it tax-free, iTrustCapital allows you to invest into crypto using your retirement accounts. iTrustCapital is the #1 crypto IRA platform in America. You can set up a fully self-directed retirement account with them with over 30 available assets. So if you think crypto is still a little too volatile for your own sake, you want to go even more conservative, they have other assets that you can invest into as well. Now, as a special deal for my Jungie Nation, if you guys want to check them out, use the link down below, create an account with them, and earn $100 into your IRA account just by signing up using the link down below and leaving your account funded for 30 days. On top of that, if you guys have not yet followed me over on Twitter and on Instagram, don't forget to give me a follow there. If you do, please watch out for impersonators and scammers as they will follow you and DM you trying to sell some things. And I would just say don't fall for it. On top of that, if you guys want to have access to my Patreon group for our exclusive Discord, you can get alerts from some of our signal analysts, technical analysis from some of our best advisors, as well as access to a community of other like-minded individuals during this time. Like the usual, if you guys made it to the end, comment down below the secret code word for today. Let's do fireworks because 4th of July is coming up. Hopefully you guys have an amazing weekend and I'll see y'all soon. Peace.